This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bumper to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen, along here as usual, Dave Riccio, and we are your KTAR car guys every Saturday morning at 11. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, our job here is to help you be connected with your car, understand your car, just help you have a better overall car ownership experience and repair experience. So if you got car questions, we can help you with that. Maybe it's a question about a repair you need, or you think you need, or maybe you don't think you need a repair. We can help you walk through that. So if you'd like to get involved with the show today, we're always taking your calls at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. And if you'd like to text, you can do that at 411-923. We might text you back. We might even just talk about that comment on the air. And so we'll have some open phones all morning long. And Dave, and I know it happens at your counter and it happens at my counter all the time. There's all kinds of different types of repairs where people come in asking for one thing, but they really need another, a misconception of terms. And one of those common things is maybe someone comes in, they have a vibration, they said, I need an alignment, but they don't tell you they have a vibration. They just come in asking for the alignment. And a lot of times the case of careful what you ask for, right? Dave?
Yeah, the reason that I thought we should be talking about this today is I had a vehicle in my shop, and it's a gal that I've known for a couple of years. We ride together at the Arcadia Bike Club, and what was going on was she finally brought her car, and she's like, I should get it to you, I should get it to you, I should get it to you. So we do an oil change on it, and I'm looking at this thing, and all the wheels on the right front, where you can see the mark where the alignment was, and then it shifted all the way over to the left. And I'm like,
the mark like on the adjustments,
right? On the adjustment. It's slotted for the lower control arm. I'm like, something wrong with this. So I start looking around and I see, new fender well in there. I see some new plastic and I see a new strut and a new knuckle. I'm like, well, this thing was just in an accident. Somebody fixed it. And I'm not sure it got aligned quite right because I look on the other side and that alignment hasn't moved. And the car is relatively new. It's got like 45,000 miles on it. And so I'm like, So I call her up and I said, hey, has this thing been in an accident lately? She's like, no, not that I know of, And I said, have you had it aligned recently? You've got brand new tires on it. So did somebody align it for you? And she said, no, Discount Tire would have aligned it. I said, well, Discount Tire's never done alignment before.
Yeah, not because they don't know how. They just don't do them.
They don't do alignment. So that's where the difference is. So what the heck is an alignment and what the heck is a tire balance? And it's also a good topic because we're going to have the guys from the tire shop coming in here in a couple weeks.
From S&S Tire, our tire partner. But yeah, so the question, when do I need what is alignment and when do I need it? And what is tire balance and when and why do I need those?
So we all kind of know what that pigeon toe thing is, right? You see when one kind of walks pigeon toes, their feet are in a little bit. Well, the same thing can happen to your wheels on your car. So those wheels, they've all got to be tracking straight down the road. And not only that, it's more complicated than your feet because there can be a lean to the inside or lean to the outside. And I guess your feet could do that too.
Right.
And there's a few
Let's back it up a little bit, though, Dave.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about the confusion. I mean, you're talking about pigeon toes and all that, and I'll get that. But when do we need an alignment? Well, before we start talking about what the alignment angles are, I mean, that's something that is usually symptom-driven by the customer, right? I mean, most people, I would say they need them or they think they need an alignment because the car is going to be pulling, right? That's what the most
That's
triggers.
usually the symptom that people...
You're going to the left or you're going to the right, or you might get an alignment after you have a repair done and then you need to make sure the car is back into alignment, or you might need, get a repair or have an alignment done just as insurance, if you will, after you just got done leaving the tire shop and you got brand new tires. So that's why we want to do the alignment.
Well, some alignment, they have no symptoms.
Right.
So you're driving this car, everything seems to be going great. But however, if we're, let's say, towed in, It may just be wearing the outside edge of the tire. It still goes straight down the road, so they don't know there's an issue. We're going to look at it as technicians, and we're going to spot the tires and say the thing needs alignment.
Right.
We're going to see it right off the bat. But you may not know it. So it may not be symptom-driven, even though you might see uneven wear. The other thing is when you got tires that are scraping on the inside edge and wearing out the inside edge of the tire, you can't really see that walking up to a car. So you're not seeing that inside edge to really know there's an alignment issue. Or sometimes cupping or feathering, kind of a rough wear to the tire, might be something else that we might see that you may not feel as the driver. So the alignment thing, when do you need alignment? And then the tire balance thing, so that's making sure everything is tracking down the road straight. All the tires are at the right angle.
That's like the chiropractor for your car. You get in alignment, get everything adjusted so you can go straight.
Right down the road. So that's alignment. Now, balance, on the other hand, we'll talk about a ceiling fan. You got a ceiling fan on your roof. It's got 4 blades on it.
It's on the roof. I don't know. It's on the ceiling.
On the ceiling. Take off one fan blade and turn that sucker on and see what happens. Well, it's going to shake itself right off its pedestal, right?
Well, even less than that. Just go tape a quarter.
Yeah, tape a quarter to one of the fan blades and see how well
Watch
that thing
sucker
spins around.
Shake the popcorn off the ceiling. Right.
You got popcorn on your ceiling?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's going to be your tire balance thing. And what it is tires are not perfectly round and they're not perfectly weighted all the way around. There's imperfection to any tire. The other thing is wheels themselves are not perfect all the way around, and there's imperfections in there. Even where they drill a hole for putting the valve stem in, that part of the wheel may weigh less. So what we have to do is when you put new tires on, they're going to balance those tires, and they're going to take those imperfections and they're going to put a weight on there to counterbalance the heavy spot.
Yeah, and then, but not only are we going to balance the tires when they're brand new, we're going to do that as preventative maintenance, maybe once a year, 15, 20,000 miles. That's also symptom driven. How many? I know I've done it at my shop a lot. We do a tire rotation for somebody, and then the next they come back and they say, "It's shaking now." Well, we should have balanced the tires. They
were out of balance, but on the rear you might not feel it. But now they're on the front.
Yeah, because you're gonna maybe feel it in the steering wheel now. Where before, we're not as in tune with our rear end.
It was in the cheeks.
Seat. Yeah, it was in the cheeks. So. And then you're going to typically feel those tire balance issues. I think most of the time it's safe to say they kind of in that 45, 55 range, and you can drive through them. So that's a symptom of needing a tire balance. And it's just good to do to protect your tires and make them last long and make the car drive comfortably.
And there's different levels of balancing. So I just bought a new used car. It's new to me. And the first thing I had to do was spend $1,000 on tires. Well, I'm like, do I ask for the road force balance because I know it's more expensive, but I know it's way better. I'm like, nah, I'm not spending the extra money, right?
Not with Michelins. You usually don't need to do that.
Yeah, and I put a set of Michelins on there, and I tell you what, it's 75 miles an hour. I'm just not happy with how good they feel. So I think I'm going to take it down to your shop, and I'm going to get a road force balance. Are you going to charge me top dollar for that? Are you going to give me the homie hookup?
No, I'm going to give you the homie hookup. I'm going to let you use the machine because on those bigger tires, man, it's a lot of work to do. And what Dave's talking about, what I've got at my shop, Virginia Auto Service, is a road force balancer. And most places, including us until a couple years ago, you have a balancer. It just spins the tires at 45 miles an hour and tells you where to put the weight, and you put them on. And that's good 99% of the time. But
92%.
Yes,
Yeah.
92.3% of the time. It's accurate,
Good
right?
Point.
But when you get into your higher end cars, some of your BMWs or aftermarket wheels and tires especially, we do what's called road force balancing. So that tire's assembly is mounted, and then the machine applies pressure. Let's say it's 1,500 pounds of pressure to the tire. So it's more simulating the actual conditions of the weighted tire on the car as opposed to just static. And it will tell us if there's high or low spots, and we can match those up by dismounting the tire. It's a lot of work, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
The machine isn't, this isn't one of the ones where you push the buttons and the machine does all the work. But, Dave, what are some of the repairs like? Now, someone might come in and think they need an alignment because the car pulls. We talked about this a little bit before the show. Car pulls. The first thing I'm doing is not putting that car on the alignment rack. We're definitely going to
cross-rotate the front tires.
Well, not only that, we're going to check the tire pressures. We got to do the most basic thing. If you've got a car that's pulling to the left and your left front tire has 5 pounds less air pressure than the right side, it probably is a tire pressure thing. So we want to set all that right, but then what Dave said, then we cross the tires. We're going to just go from the left to the right on the front. And if that pole follows the tire direction,
tire issue.
now we've got a tire issue we need to worry about. That doesn't mean you maybe don't still want to get in alignment, but this is the diagnostic process. I mean, diagnosis doesn't mean having a digital voltmeter or a computer, and then when you get into the alignment, when I went to alignment school, you learned on the bubble gauges, even though we had the computers. I mean, these computers are great,
right?
But they're kind of made for the general, just kind of the guy who...
They're made to be a little bit idiot-proof, too. So we can talk about that more.